Hey guys, we are going to start this week off in math going over the basics because we noticed when we're doing our multiplication, especially when we are doing the multi-digit ones, we're having trouble with regrouping. And regrouping is a skill that we should already have mastered. So we're going to take this week to get acclimated back into school, and we're going to work with the regrouping skills. And it looks like I'm a little off center, but that's okay. And that regrouping looks really not straight, so let's just do this. So regrouping 101. So when you are regrouping with addition, I just lost that brown marker. When you're regrouping with addition or subtraction, you're basically borrowing or adding on to the next place value. When we have our place value, okay, we have our 3 in the ones place, so it's worth 3. The 4 is in the tens place, so it's worth 40. The 5 is in the hundreds place, so it's worth 500. We need to keep that in mind when we start to regroup. So we're going to start off with a very simple problem. And we're going to be doing two different things. We're going to be using our simple standard work, but I'm going to be bringing in some base 10 blocks to help us get a visual about what it actually means to regroup with addition. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing addition first, and then we're going to be going into subtraction. So when you add, regardless what the number is, let's say it's 42 plus 17. The first thing we need to do is to line our numbers up. And for some reason, we have a difficult time doing this because we want to rush through it, we want to be sloppy. But when it comes to math, you have to be neat because if one little thing is off, your whole problem can be totally off. So you need to make sure that you're lining up your place values. Your ones line up with your ones and your tens, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this down here. So I have 42. My 4 is in the tens place. My 2 is in my ones place. So then I'm going to take the 17 and line it up just the same. The 1 is in the tens place. The 7's in the ones place. Everything is lined up. Even some people, like at the very beginning when they have this problem, I just have them do this. So they can see it's little dotted lines if you can't see that. You probably can't. Anyway, they're actually just separating the two place values. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in some base 10 blocks, and those are going to help us out to get an idea visual about how this is going to work. Now, remember, each place value is a base number of 10. Okay? So in the ones place, the number has to be 0 through 9. Okay? If it's 10, that means it's going to go over here because this is our tens place. Okay? This is 10 through 99. And once it bumps up to 100, it goes over. Okay? But remember, you can only put one number in each place value at a time. So I'm going to go over here. I'm just going to step off and I'm going to bring back in my stuff. Okay, so I need 4 tens and 2 ones. So I'm going to bring over 4 of my base 10 blocks. Yes, you can see that. Okay. 4 of my base 10 blocks. Then 2 of the unit cubes for 42. Then I need 1 base 10 block and 7 of my unit cubes. Okay, so basically what we've done is we are representing our math problem using base 10 numbers. That's basically what we're doing. Okay, now what we're going to do is, like with a regular addition problem, we're going to be adding the ones place first. So I have 2 up here and 7 down here. So 2 plus 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we knew that. We knew that 2 plus 7 is 9. Now we go to our tens. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1 is 5. So 59. And you can even see that with your base 10 blocks when we added. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. There you go. Each number has its own neat little place. Now, what happens though when we have to regroup? I'm going to move these over. Okay. So when we have to regroup, same concept. All right, let's go with 36 plus, let's stick with 17. Okay, 36 plus 17. First things first, I'm going to rewrite these vertically. Now remember we talked about this earlier. When you are vertical, you're up and down. When you're horizontal, you're side to side. Oops, can't see that. This is horizontal. See, it's side to side. So I'm going to rewrite this vertically. So I have 36 plus 17. Now remember, you line these up according to place value. The 6 and the 7 are in my ones place. The 3 and the 1s are in my tens place. Remember, only one digit can go into each place value. So let's go ahead and bring in our helpers. So I have 36. So I have 10. Y'all see that? Yep. 20, 30, and then 2, 4, 6. So that's 36. And then I need 17. So that's 1, 2, I'm going to get some more of my tiles over here. 4, 6, 7. Okay, so what we've done is we have our tiles. We have 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, plus 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so everything we do the same thing. You're going to add the ones place first. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a problem. Because remember, this number cannot be greater than 10. So what happens is this right here, boom, 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 boom. This right here, it's kind of like when you save up your money or like dojo points and you want to trade it in. So what I've done is I've collected 10 of these Unicubes. What happens is I get to trade it in for a base 10, I call it a strip, it's a rod. So those 10 little Unicubes turn into a big rod. So I went from those 10 and I've added it over here. So then I have 1, 2, 3. So I put the 3 down here, and remember, I kicked over a ones rod, or a tens rod, I apologize. I kicked over a tens rod. So that 10 gets to stake up here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 53 is my answer. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53. That's basically all we're doing. So when you add, and even if you don't use these unit or base, if you don't have these unit blocks, you can still work with it. Let's look at this. Let's do 56 plus 28. Okay, 56 plus 28. I have lined up my numbers in the ones place and the tens place. So when I see 8 and 6, okay, I know that 8 and 6 is 14. But remember, I can't put 14 down here. I can't. But what I can do is I can keep the number in the ones place, which is the 4, because it's only 4 ones, and I can bump up the 10. And that 10 goes over to the tens place, because that's where it belongs. It's outgrew its place in the ones. Okay, it no longer fits there. So it's going to bump into the next group. So I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, plus 1 more is 8. Because remember, this is like saying 50 plus 20. 50 plus 20 and then plus 10 gives me 80. So 8. Okay, that's how we regroup with addition. So let's look at subtraction. Subtraction has the same little thing going on here. I'm actually going to keep the 53 because I don't want to move this over. So I'm going to stick with 53 minus, let's do 18. Okay, so as you can see, I have just written the number out vertically. It's just easier to do it that way, especially with double digit subtraction. Now, I want to set up my problem with my unit blocks. I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, then that's 13, 23, 33, 43, 53. So now I'm going to have 18 down here. That's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. And if I'm not mistaken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to need one more of these little beauties. All right, so when you subtract, you have to ask yourself, can my bottom number be taken away from the top number? It's kind of like if you can spend the money. Like if this CD or this, y'all don't buy CDs anymore. If this whatever you buy is $13, but I only have $8, I don't have enough money. I can't support it. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract. So we have 53 up here. Okay? I'm taking away 18. So we're going to work with our ones first. 3, and I have to take away 8. 1, 2, 3. I don't have enough ones for 8. So I go and borrow from the tens place. So what happens is I'm going to take one of these 10s right here and move it to the ones place. So it actually turns into 10 unit cubes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm going to go back up and add these here. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Because I've taken a 10 from the tens place and put it over in the ones. It broke back apart. Okay, I need to use it, so I'm breaking it apart. So now let's minus 8 from 13. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've subtracted 8. That leaves me with 5. So now I have 4 left. I got to take away 1. So that leaves me with the answer of 35. So let's see if that's right. So I have 8 minus 3. I can't do that, so I have to borrow from the 5, just like I did over there. Make that a 4, and this turns into 13. Now, 13 minus 8 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. That's all it is. You're borrowing from your neighbor. You're breaking the number up. But then you're like, well, what if it's a 3-digit number? It's the same thing. Except you're going to have a lot more cubes and a lot more base 10s and a lot more rods and everything else involved. You're just doing the same thing. Like, look right here. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. Okay. Okay, we're doing the same thing with a 3-digit number. Okay? So, I gotta go get more blocks. 1 second. Okay, so I have 5, then 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. 3. I need 5 of these beauties. Okay. This is going to take a lot of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. So I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 500, 510, 520, 530, 531, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So 538 is represented right here. So what I have to do now is I have to subtract 176. 176. 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and get my rods over here. Okay, so I have 8 right here, and I have to take away 6 of them. So 2, 4, 6. Okay, I can do that. I'm going to move them all over here. All right. So something just fell. It was a unicube. So that means I'm left with 2 in my ones place. Okay, so 2. And I'm going to write a little number in here. 2. Okay, now I have 3 10s, and I have to take away 7. 1, 2. I don't have enough. But what I do have is a neighbor. And this neighbor is worth 100. And guess how many 10 blocks make up 100 sheet? That's right, 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exchange one of my sheets right here, or a flat. I call it a sheet, they call it a flat. I'm going to trade in one of my flats for 10 rods. I'm just exchanging. It's like I'm going, hey, I have $1, I need 4 quarters. Same thing. So I'm going to take my flat, move it out here, and I'm going to bring in, I hope this is 10 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is hiding. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. So I brought in, I've exchanged from a hundreds place to make it go to the tens place. So I've taken the flat, which is equal to 100. I broke it up into tens, and I brought those over. So now instead of 3, I have 13. And I can take 7 away from 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 7. So I'm left with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Is that right? No, 6. I'm left with 6. So I'm left with 6. And then I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. 462. Let's check our work. Okay, 8 minus 6, that's 2. I cannot take 7 away from 3, so I have to borrow. So I'm going to go to my neighbor, which is a 5, turn it into a 4. Some people I've noticed like to do this. They mark out the 3 and they say, okay, it turns into 13. 13 minus 5, that's not right. 13 minus 7 is 6. 4 minus 1, I messed up there because I forgot to take away the 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. Let's see, I make mistakes sometimes. Okay, so basically what we've done is we've worked with our base 10 blocks with bigger numbers. But all you need to remember is what you're doing is you're breaking apart the place value numbers and just allowing them to go over to the next side. Remember, you can only put one number per place value. And you always put the number at the end and carry the other one. Okay? Because in each one of these, right here, I'm going to use this right here I'm going to do addition first. Because in each one of these blocks, okay, the number will not be greater than 10. I cannot fit a number greater than 10. So you put the number in the ones place down here and you kick up the tens place. That's how that works. And with subtraction, okay, still the same thing. You still have your place value blocks, and you can only put one number in there at a time. One number you cannot squeeze, even though how small you write, you cannot squeeze 2-digit numbers in here. Okay? That's a no-go. But, okay, when you do all this, you're subtracting, so you're taking away. The number's going to get smaller. But at times when you can't, you have to borrow, and your numbers change. And that's okay. You're just borrowing. It all works out itself in the end. And remember, a quick little check. How do you check subtraction problems to make sure they're correct? What you do, you take your answer, 362, plus the bottom number. What happens is that your answer matches your top number. Little trick. Okay, so this is just an introduction. This is not actually what you're going to be doing today with these problems, but this is just an intro to help you with the regrouping. We're also going to be doing this with multiplication too. So bear with us, because this right here, little mistakes in adding when you get to multiplication can ruin a whole problem, and little mistakes with subtraction can ruin a whole division problem. So we need to make sure that you have a good concrete understanding of what regrouping is. All right, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day.